How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. And how are you today?
Not bad, not bad. My name is
Great.
Vladimir, and I'm from Bulgaria, but I live in Japan.
Welcome to my class and thank you so much for joining me. My name is Jack, and it is such a pleasure to meet you today.
Likewise, likewise. Aren't you considered native speakers of English?
Yes, I am, but according to the Native Camp admin, my nationality is not considered native.
Yeah, that's my question. When I say you, I mean South Africans, and I don't mean you in particular. I
No, yes,
so not you're not considered native speakers. That's by uh, by this company, by the standards of this company, or just in general. I don't know.
I would say by the standards of this company.
Because I think I've seen some South Africans that are native speakers. It says native, I mean, on this site.
Yes, I've got a friend who's on the site and his profile is a native speaking profile. But I'm guessing since the change of the system from last year to this year, they changed to a new system. And under the new system, they have now said that South Africans will no longer be considered native speakers.
So you get paid less, I guess. That's the.
A lot less.
Oh, really? Percentage
hmm
wise? What's the
Um,
wage
I
difference?
would say up to 40 to 60% less
They're a native speaker, really?
than a native speaker, yes.
Huh.
Because I've heard from other people that native speakers have the option to increase or decrease their fees as they see fit, where I don't have that option.
It's a flat,
A
fixed rate.
native's mm, my rate per lesson is $1.54, and a native speaker's rate per lesson, same lesson as we're doing now, can be anywhere up to $5.
One, what did you say again? 184?
154
54 for a 25-minute conversation.
sudden lesson, yes. And a native speaker's rate can go all the way up to $5 for a sudden lesson.
Let me ask you, how do you in South Africa learn English?
I learned it from a very young age from my parents as a home language.
Okay, so you spoke English at home. What about
Yes.
secondary education? Are the lessons conducted in English or no?
Yes, and I went to an English primary school
Okay.
and then or English elementary school and English high schools
So all subjects are taught in English,
in
in your
English.
case, but that's not
Yes.
universal across South Africa.
No, we do have English and Afrikaans medium schools, and in the more rural areas, we have schools taught in their native tongue like Zulu, Xhosa, Sotho, and so on. But you see, in the area that I'm in, which is a predominantly Afrikaans area, the medium of teaching in the schools is predominantly Afrikaans.
Afrikaans. So all textbooks are in Afrikaans.
Yes, yes. So it just depends on whereabouts you are in the country.
That's why
That
they
will
don't
that
consider. Okay.
differs between English and Afrikaans.
Okay. Okay.
But in the big cities, they have both English and Afrikaans medium schools.
Mm-hmm. I see in big cities. I see.
hmm
What about TV and entertainment in general?
We have predominantly English stations, but there is a few Afrikaans stations as well.
But the
And then
majority,
there's
as you
a
said,
few
predominantly in English.
is in
Okay.
English, yes. But with the modern day TVs, you can actually set your language on your decoder, and you can set it to English, Afrikaans, or other languages that you can download. I'm sure you can do that.
Hmm. It's dubbed in the language you choose.
Hmm.
Okay, I see.
Hmm.
How long have you been teaching English for?
I started in August, so just
Oh,
over 2 months now, 3 months now.
fresh, fresh. What do you think
Hmm.
about a platform like this one? Are they helpful, beneficial for the learner?
Most definitely, most definitely. The lessons that I've given so far has brought a lot of joy to my students and a lot of clarity, because I like the students that ask a lot of questions, like why is this sentence right but the sentence is not right? And both both sentences sound are absolutely correct, but the one sentence is not correct. And now I have to think back 20 years, 25 years to when I learned this in grade one or grade two, thinking, this is the reason why this word should not be in this place of the sentence. And I enjoy it in the fact that it allows me to gain a deeper understanding of English from a more theoretical point of view.
You get paid to learn, basically.
Something like that, yes. Yes, I've got a nice.
That's an interesting thing. When somebody asks you this type of question, say, what's the difference between this and that sentence? You said you have to go back to your, elementary school or whatever. But
Hmm.
just please think again. What is the first thing that you do? For example, if I said, how do you say in English? Do you say I'm interested on or I'm interested in? For example, I'm interested on computer games. I'm interested in computer games. It's just a silly example, but what's the first thing that
Mm.
comes to mind? Do you go back to elementary school or what is it that you do?
In that sentence, I would say I'm interested in is the correct
No, no,
sentence,
no.
and
But
the
yeah,
reason why.
the reason why. What's the reason? How do you process this type of question? Is my question.
That is a very good question. So, my first thing is I will do. I will think back to what I learned in high school and all of those years, and if I can't think of a clear explanation from then,
No, no,
I
no,
will
no, no, no.
try
Just
and
sorry, sorry,
come.
sorry. I'm not asking about the reason why. I'm asking your initial reaction. This is right. This is wrong. How do
Mm,
you come up with the answer? I'm not asking you to explain why.
I basically come up with the answer. Which one's more natural for me to say?
Exactly. And that's the only answer that is necessary. This sounds
Mm-hmm.
right.
Mm-hmm.
This sounds natural. This sounds,
Mm-hmm.
well, how do you say, harmonious, if you will. Sounds right. Sounds
Mm-hmm.
natural. I feel okay. I feel it
Indeed.
feels right.
Indeed.
All the explanations that follow are unnecessary, useless, in my opinion.
Okay. I
It
like
feels
that.
right. It feels natural, feels normal, feels correct. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Not because of your high school, well, your elementary school teacher's explanation, but because why?
It's something I say every single day of my life.
You hear every single day, not say. It's something you've
Mm.
heard over and over and over again. I'm interested on sounds. There's a twitch. There's sounds. What is out of tune, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't sound. That's why I sometimes use the word harmony. The harmonies of it, out of tune.
Mm-hmm. That is absolutely correct.
So all these grammar explanations, I don't think they're very useful, to be perfectly honest. Just to give you a bit of context, I used to be a language teacher myself until I realized that
Yes.
language cannot be taught.
Okay.
Language cannot be taught. Yeah. To me, language is a tool for acquiring knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
getting information. And vocabulary and grammar are not knowledge.
No, it's not. It's just a tool of conversing and trans.
Not conversive, of acquiring knowledge, of
Yes,
understanding the
that's what I
knowledge.
want to say.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, because by communication, conversing, people think giving knowledge. No, it's the getting, it's the understanding, the
Mm-hmm.
acquiring of the knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking is a byproduct of knowledge acquisition.
Okay.
The reason why you speak English well is because of all that. That's why I asked you whether you learned other subjects through English. And you said yes. The reason why you speak English well, like a native basically with the South African accent, is because can you just, just quantify, express in words how much information have you acquired through English? I mean, it's an enormous amount of.
Mm.
When I say information, I also include entertainment and all that.
Mm-hmm.
From age 1 to now. I mean, this is a huge amount of exposure to proper information, not grammar. It's not your time spent learning vocabulary and grammar, it's your time spent listening to meaningful information.
Mm-hmm. That is absolutely true.
And the reason why language can't be taught is that there is no knowledge in a language classroom.
Sure. That is deep.
Nobody goes to a language classroom to learn chemistry, marketing, philosophy, history.
Okay. That is true. That is true. So now, as an English teacher or as a language teacher, should I say, what tips can you give me to improve my conveying of knowledge when it comes to helping others with their English?
Nobody comes to you to acquire knowledge. They all come to you to practice their speaking, which makes no sense whatsoever. Practice speaking makes no sense whatsoever. If you were to spend 1 minute on this thing called practice speaking or practice English, you'd realize that it's an absurd notion. Practice speaking makes no sense whatsoever.
I don't.
When you ask me what can you do, there's nothing you can do because nobody comes to you with the mindset of acquiring knowledge. They all come to practice speaking. And as I told you, speaking is a byproduct of knowledge acquisition. So my question to you is, why aren't Japanese people good at speaking English?
My answer to that would.
Having heard everything I said so far.
I haven't heard everything you've said so far. Would be that they haven't acquired enough knowledge in English.
Exactly. Everything they're interested in, they want to know, is in Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
They can find enough good quality information in Japanese. It's a big country, huge economy. Everything gets translated the minute it's published. I mean, when it's good quality stuff, books from the US or Germany or whatever. Huge market. They like to read. They acquire almost 0% knowledge in English. They spend all that time and money on textbooks and fake conversations and cram schools and private lessons and zero on consuming proper knowledge, proper information. That's the reason why Americans suck at Spanish, even though they're surrounded by Spanish.
Because they don't.
They get
listen
the
or don't
the things they
consume enough
exactly.
Spanish.
So that's why I like the word knowledge, because knowledge implies interest. It's not just reading just listening to any type of Spanish. You have to really want to know what's written, what's what you hear, what you read. You really need to know. You really need to want to understand. Take it easy.
Thank you
Okay.
so much for a very good lesson. I enjoyed you so much today.
You have one life. Don't waste it.